Hello, and thanks for joining me for another week with Mirree's Dreamtime messages. I'm slowly recovering from the flu because I did get that last week. As the weather's been doing some pretty crazy things lately, and just as it started to warm up, then a lot of rain came down and wind, and so yeah, it's been a very different spring to what it was last year, and so you've probably noticed a lot of changes to do with the weather where you are as well, wherever you are in the world. My name is Mirree. Thanks for joining me on my Art by Mirree channel, where I upload a video every Sunday and Monday, and I want to thank you to everyone that's been liking and commenting and sharing my work, as this really greatly helps me to be seen more and helps me to grow my channel and bring you guys some more fantastic videos and videos of me painting in my studio, which I always try to upload those as much as I can, and also the Dreamtime messages that come out every Sunday evening. And and sometimes there's some other videos that go into depth to do with maybe the Dreamtime card meanings and story time as well, which I've recently been doing, probably over the past 12 months that I've only just brought out, which is the story time, because a lot of my paintings involve stories, and because I try to bring out 50 to 100 paintings every year in my usual practice, and each painting comes with a spiritual story, and those stories will also go into colouring in books and card decks and things like that, and so which makes it a really affordable way to own some of my stuff, especially when it's in a colouring in book, or you're just wanting to get a series of postcards, story postcards, or even that's also a great way to try and find out which is your most favourite animal or story that relates to you. And so the week is going to be starting the 29th of September and running until the 5th of October. And so we've basically got 2 to 3 months now till Christmas, and so Christmas is coming on pretty hard now. I won't lie, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't normally do that because it's always better to know the truth of something up front, as there's no hidden surprises. But at the moment we've got the next few days up until the 30th of September is going to be a the moon phase that is in the next 2 days, going for today and tomorrow, is up until today and tomorrow is the waxing crescent moon, and so this is a good time to write in your journal and also bring in some intentions over the next few days. And because the next phase, which will go for about 1 day, is the first quarter moon. The first quarter moon, which will be on the 30th of September, is a day that can help you prepare for some deep listenings, and helps you to make any decisions, any major decisions that you're needing to make. And also a great time to write in your journal. And so after the first quarter moon, we're going to be having the waxing gibbous moon. And that lasts for about 6 days leading up to the full moon. And so after Tuesday, we'll be having the waxing gibbous moon, and that'll bring us up until the full moon. And so the waxing gibbous moon is a great time also for processing any of those new and big decisions that you've recently made during the first quarter moon stage. And it's also a great time for cleansing and purification rituals and continuing to concentrate and refine the roadmap to your dreams. And so that stage really helps you to clarify any major decisions that you've been making or wanting to make. That is really going to help you to progress in your dreams or in your plans of making changes or transformations, or making progress in your work or family life. And so, yeah, I mean, after Tuesday, so if you're wanting to clarify anything, and then that time frame of 6 days is going to be a good time to do that. And so last week, how did you go last week when we pulled out some pretty awesome cards? One was with the dragonfly, letting us know that we need to slow down and get ourselves back into a blissful energy where we can recharge and maybe just see anything that's there that could be playing out to do with any negative patterns. The other card that we pulled out was with Rainbow Serpent, letting us know that we're developing our energy and our light to be like the true reflection of the divine creator, when we can channel our creative energy into projects that are going to help us to progress in our life. Putting our creative energy into many different projects. It could be anything really that you're wanting to focus on. And so that was another major card that we pulled out last week. And the other one was with the blue wren, I am love, letting us know that when we listen to the inner sounds and calls of our soul, it naturally guides us to align to the high vibrations of love within nature, and letting us know that we're leaving behind any anger and hate, and no longer contributing or giving energy to anything that is not giving us the love and support that we deserve during this time. So those are the cards that we drew last week. And so it's going to be another brand new week where we can uncover and discover ourselves again in wanting to make a transformation towards the new, away from the old, because it can take us some time in order to transform ourselves from the old that's no longer serving us anymore, and giving us the spiritual guidance that we're needing during these troubled times and uncertainty. And so if you've got your Dreamtime cards, and it comes in a box, and you've got your 100-page booklet, and you've got your 36 glossy cards with the golden edge foiled on the sides. And so without further ado, with the week starting the 29th of September and running until the 5th of October, it's going to be the first week of a brand new month. And so let's have a look. And we're on our way to the full moon, which is basically within another 7 days. And so now is the perfect time to prepare ourselves for the energy of the full moon. And so every week I shuffle the cards and I pull out 3 cards to kind of help us during our week in giving us some guidance, spiritual guidance, and helping us to stay positive on our path. And the first card that we drew out this week is with the ancestral bee. I am grateful, letting us know when I acknowledge the magic and pure divine love that is within me. I feel blessed. I am grateful for everything in my life. And so the ancestral bee reminds us about that we can go through painful experiences, and although like they can feel like really troublesome or just really painful at times when we're having to go through certain lessons, they're actually giving us they're helping us to actually, when we can actually see that from another point of view, we're actually letting ourselves not to be caught up in that pain and detaching from that pain, and we're actually seeing that pain from a detached perspective, which means it's not affecting us the way that it used to affect us when we were in that pain. And so that's part of the lesson to do with ancestral bee, is that we're no longer getting caught up in the pain anymore, and so of the experience or the lesson that we had to learn. So which I think is quite interesting, because it's like we're being able to see that from an empty point of view, where we're not reacting anymore through the pain of the experience. And so what I'm talking about, I'll read a bit more in the guidebook, and so that you can understand what I'm trying to say. The ancestors of bees were wasps, and they can be found in fossil formations within amber, which are 56 million years old. Some parts of bee DNA date back as far as 2,500 million years ago, as evidenced by traces of DNA found in the Eyre Peninsula of South Australia. Australian bees are very hairy and fast flying. Are you searching for that inner treasure, that sweet fragrance filling up your world like a flower bursting in bloom? Why not take your life at one step further by imagining those hidden possibilities that await you, ready to take you places? Treasure your life and everything you're about to accomplish. Take charge with confidence, even if you do not recognize it yet. So there is a hidden treasure guiding you to take a huge leap forward into the unknown. Make the magic of your light stronger and expand it out into the world. Your life is filled with the magic of the newfound nectar. The purpose of the bee represents aspects and qualities of ourselves which we learn about over time. Learning about ourselves can be like uncovering a treasure trove of information, and can guide us in the decisions we make so that we can evolve in the best and highest way possible. And so when I was describing what I was saying before, it's like having like a bird's eye view of your situation. So a guidance is, there is a point in your life that is there a point in your life where you remember the simple, most pleasurable things in your life? It's time to bring it back now in order to overcome any adversity that you may be going through. The action step this week: experiencing the simple things is like a state of mind we want to get back to, or have been trying to reach for some time now. This was a time for us when there was no restrictions or conditions placed upon us. This is what nature teaches us to remember again. teaching us to harmonize our life, balancing out the pain we experience when we begin to grow into an adult. When we can understand our pain more, we become closer to reaching that state of mind again, simply because the pain is no longer controlling our lives and we become free from its restrictions. I certainly think that this is worth striving for, don't you? And the negative could be you're unwilling, you're feeling disappointed or hopeless. You can always turn that around by taking charge, recognizing your own magic and becoming confident in that magic. And so that is such a sweet card to get for our first card for this week, because it's helping us to just break down the most basic situations from our past in order to overcome any adversity that we're going through during this time. And by bringing back the most simple and pleasurable things in our life, which removes any pain or any harsh lessons that we have experienced, this kind of softens our experience and helps our perspective not to be so harsh on ourselves. And we all have lessons that we learn in this life, and so it's not always easy, but there is little ways that can help soften our experience, and that's really what Ancestral Bee is all about. And so let's have a look and see the next card. Well, that one just popped right out. Let's have a look at what that one is. So I'm putting that one back because I wasn't finished shuffling. Now, let's have a look and see the next card that we're going to be drawing out is with Crocodile, with Dragonfly. I am determined, letting us know when I focus on mastering a change, I allow my soul to evolve to the next level. This enables greater development and personal power within my life. And so when we go back to the Ancestral Bee card, and it's letting us know to soften our experience, the reason we want to do that, because that helps us not to get caught up too much on the past, but keeps us moving forward. And when we can move forward, then we can get a card like the Crocodile that gives us messages in order to help us to move forward and continue to move forward, not get stuck on the past or anything that has been kind of undermining our success or undermining our happiness. And so if we have a look, the card is number 31, and we can look on page 75. If you've got the card deck, then you'll have your little guidebook that you can follow through. And the timing of something very important to you is making its way to the surface. This has to do with two of the most important qualities in your life, that your power and your ability to act in a timely fashion. Remember, you may not know all the details right now, but it's important to have complete confidence and trust in yourself at this time in order to act on this situation. As a result of this timing, your soul will evolve to bring about a change that will impact your future and development of your purpose in life. You are realizing the potential of your soul through a dedication to change, which is not only increasing your power, but is also increasing your self-confidence. Your purpose is to change doesn't come easy. You are currently mastering a change, giving you an immense source of power and inspiration. And the guidance this week is Crocodile with Dragonfly reminds you about the timing of an opportunity to increase your power coming your way. Be ready and open to this opportunity. You're about to learn more about your power and how this can increase your confidence. And the action step, work on something you feel passionate about to enable you to propel yourself into your future, that it begins to make a change to form a new habit. So get going and get consistent. Listen, watch for the answer and changes to come. It takes exactly 30 days to form a new habit to create lasting change. And so you could be feeling misunderstood, feeling rejected. There's a block flow of energy. You can always turn that around by being open to new opportunities. Try and realize your potential, and that you have powerful energy. And if you read further in the guidebook, you can read more information to do with what these two animals, the dragonfly and the crocodile, symbolizes. And so let's have a look and see the other card that we're going to be drawing out this week. Well, you know that that one is a pretty powerful card to get for this week, the crocodile with dragonfly. And yeah, my hair's been going a bit feral since I've gotten sick. And so but yeah, that's an interesting card and opportunity to keep an eye out on for this week, to do with the opportunity that's coming your way. And I'd be interested to know, you know, in the comments, what has come your way, if there's been something that's come your way, or, you know, it could also be something that comes your way over the course of the next few weeks. And so the solution card this week is gonna let you know that you're needing to be connected, and so connected to nature, connected to yourself, connected to others this week. And so when you give yourself time, you can easily understand that each phase of your life is a natural progression of life. And so it's really important to be tuned in this week to yourself and others and what's going on around. And the best way you can do that is by getting in nature and getting connected to nature, and all the feels that you feel in nature, and the connection that you get from being in nature, and the reignition of your spirit when you get in touch with nature. And so if we have a look in the guidebook, it's on page 21, which is the butterfly card. The butterfly is so closely linked to the death and rebirth cycle. It is a beautiful free spirit creature that brings support to this kind of transformation, within that you're about to take. Without attachment, once it's left the chrysalis, it's free again to move about with ease. There is a lot we can learn and uncover in a lifetime, and especially about nature and ourselves. But instead of stopping and taking the time to heal and understand, we keep going in this fast-paced world. Butterfly reminds us of our cycles of transformation within our heart and soul. Learning butterfly dreaming represents the many cycles of life. Everything is in perfect balance and synchronicity when we can recognize the ebbs and flows of life in the reflection of nature. And so it's an important cycle that we're going through this time, because it can be a time where we're wanting to burst free from the chrysalis. And, you know, this opportunity that comes this week could allow us to do that. The butterfly provides us with healing and transformation. It can bring you emotional relief from grieving from a loved one or a family member, healing wounds from past relationships. It's also a chance to bring transformation in by providing you with the understanding of the old, which then allows the new beginning to unfold. Meditation allows you to tap into the healing it will provide you, also through quiet spiritual contemplation. Butterfly dreaming reminds us that life is a delicate balance of nature's cycles. Whether you're in an up or whether you're in an up or down cycle, be sure it will soon pass, and when it does, you'll be far stronger from the experience. Honor yourself by giving yourself the time to understand what kind of cycle you're in this week. This will enable you to gain more balance in the areas that you feel separated from. The action step this week is to schedule in some quiet time, especially for yourself, so that you can get connected to nature and the natural rhythm of life within you. And so just allow yourself to have a steady pace this week so that you can really tune into that cycle within yourself and honor that part. You know, that is going to be the most that should be your focus for this week, because that is your solution card. And you know, that will also help you to pick up that opportunity from dragonfly and crocodile, and also enable you to stay balanced in relation to ancestral being, relation to, you know, making sure that you are lightly tapping into what is needing to kind of just slightly be, you know, touched on, to do with any adversity that may be coming up, and so that it doesn't affect you too much during this week, but it just, you know, and you know, it's just a reminder, telling you that it's there, but it's not really affecting you in the ways that it was before. And so I hope you have a wonderful week with these 3 cards that we drew this week. Our solution card obviously being the butterfly, and letting us know to be mindful of the cycle that we're in this week, to help us overcome any adversity that we're going through, by being mindful and honoring ourselves and giving back to ourselves this week through nature. And the other 2 cards that we got is with the ancestral bee, letting us know we're uncovering a treasure trove of information at this time. It's important to be gentle with ourselves, and you know, because this is going to really help us to overcome any adversity that we're going through, to do with any restrictions or that have been placed upon us from the past. You know, we don't need to go down that track anymore. We can just acknowledge it for what it is and let it go, and you know, just be mindful about it for next time. And the other card that we got is with the dragonfly and crocodile. I am determined, letting us know that when we can focus on mastering this change, you know, we can evolve to our next level, and this enables us to develop our power and self-confidence. And there could be an opportunity arising very soon, this week, in the next couple of weeks, or maybe in the month of October. And so it's important to look out for that one. I hope you guys have a wonderful week with these 3 cards, and I really appreciate everyone's comments and likes and shares. You know, that really helps me during this time. And you know, stay tuned for my next painting that's coming out. I'm starting a new painting coming up this week, and I will be also finishing the wombat, because it's just been you know, little setbacks sometimes when we get sick. And you know, I'm almost at the end, and this is what it's looking like so far. So yeah, and it's only going to be the only wombat painting on my store, and so it's got a thick edge on it, so it's going to be freestanding. And don't forget about the also the turtle that I did from a couple of weeks ago with the, you know, beautiful colors. So that was during the blood moon. So I did like the pink moon colors, and I also used some metallic paints in this one, which you can kind of see in the reflections, and this one's got a thick edge as well. And so I hope you guys have a wonderful week this week, and don't forget about the tips to do with the journal prompts on the waxing gibbous moon. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.